my oldest friend, despite all of the travel, all the time I've spent in other countries and outside Canada, is still my best friend. Actually, a little background story, we did not even like each other at the time, but the Trent environment just really brought us together. So hi, I'm Todd Anthony Tyler, and I was here in 1988. I did come from a small town at the time, and I think that's part of the reason why I liked Trent so much. It was just the atmosphere, the comfort, that bit of a small town mentality and feel, how we're surrounded by all the forests and the environment and the people, the architecture. I just like how Trent looks. I mean, I'm just a very visual person. Even though I did biology and anthropology studies, my career did go in a more creative visual direction. So definitely the architecture of Trent was something that always stood out with me, always stays with me, how Trent looks, the people, the friendliness, the openness. And I think I'd say at that time as well, I felt Trent was a little ahead of the curve on levels of acceptance, that more multinational, individuals with different life choices and ideas, a real melting pot on that sort of idea where maybe other campuses weren't quite as open. So I think that was a great learning opportunity that I've carried through my whole life at Trent, is interacting with people, different type of people, how to speak to people, those social skills outside of my actual education that I learned here at Trent. My thought on career-wise was working national resources, or in that field of, because I've always been an outdoor person, but all that changed when I went to study in Kenya for nearly 3 months. We lived in different areas in national parks. We studied under tents. I remember it was very difficult to kind of focus in a way, to concentrate on your studies, because you're literally out and seeing giraffes and zebras, and it was a very vivid memory for me, and came back and wanted to travel. And a vehicle to do that, which is a very big switch from a cerebral educational environment to a degree. Just a lot of people are surprised in that way that I went on to be a model, which was, I didn't even think of it at the time, especially at the time at Trent, because I was so focused on studies, as being an option. First went to Milan, then I was living in Milan for about 6 months, and then I went to various European countries after that. Ultimately, through modeling and then the fashion photography career, I've traveled to over 33 different countries. So very different from biology, but definitely a life that I've enjoyed because of that Kenya experience, inspiring me to see the world. And then the fashion photography element, which I still do some of that, brought me to reality TV work. And then I was on 2 different reality TV shows. I had no idea where I was going and what I wanted to do, even when I was at Trent, when I thought I wanted to be a biologist. Now, the biggest advice I would give to younger people is, it is going to be a journey, it is going to be a lifelong, hopefully, experience for you. You need to recognize you might have to pivot or change or draw from other experiences or other talents that you have. Maybe it's not necessarily the first plan A that you had. Having that flexibility really, I think, goes a long way. I think a lot of people worry way too much about what's going to happen and what's this going to happen. Life kind of happens, and then when you are giving yourself that flexibility, that's going to take you much farther in the end than being too worried about things.